What is going on, guys? Dave from Wake Up It's Football alongside of Ezra from Idiot Ezra. Bringing you guys the Week 5 edition of the Red Zone Blitz. And we got a lot of things to talk about, including the NFL TV ratings, Colin Kaepernick, Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, all that good stuff. But first of all, got to introduce the one and only Ezra from Idiot Ezra. How's it going?
Well, hello, gentlemen. Hello, David. I'm feeling good. And today I was, driving. I don't know why I always think while I'm driving. I don't know if that's a good thing. I zone off and I just have these moments. I don't know if that's a dangerous thing. Probably doesn't sound too well. But anyway, the point is here, I feel like I've been sluggish this season on the Red Zone Blitz. I haven't been feeling my performances. So today I'm bringing it, son. I'm bringing it. And I had an ice cream, so maybe that's why I'm so hyped. I had the chocolate chip ice cream sandwich, so I'm feeling good right now. And yes, Zach, he forgot my fantasy record. I'm 0-5 in the ESPN league. Okay, I should be 1-4, but I still got a chance.
I like the gaming chair that you. That's a nice addition.
This is my nephew's. I'm stealing his gaming chair.
It looks
super,
cool.
super comfy. It's a DX Racer. Got a little pillow right here.
How much do one of those things go for, man? When I get my own spot pretty soon, I'm gonna have to get one.
I can lean back a little bit. This goes for like $300. I guess it's pretty affordable for a chair that's very comfy.
Yeah.
And if you sit on this for hours, I fell asleep on this chair one time. So yes, much better than my barbecue folding chair.
Well, speaking of the Fantasy Football League, updating you guys on that. We still have 2 undefeated teams being straight cash homie, which is Nicholas Guzman, and Gridiron Seahorses, which is Zachification. You guys are both 5-0. I'm actually ranked second right now. I'm behind Nicholas at in the Dave division. In Ezra's division, Ezra, man, 0-5.
I'm in last place. Am I? I think I would imagine I'm in last place. So yeah, I'm open for trades. Okay, guys. So if you my team's getting healthy, so better watch out. You guys better watch out. I got Lewis. Grunk has finally got his quarterback. I'm getting healthy.
Yeah. Well, I'm playing Raider Hazard this week. He's 4-1. That should be a good showdown. I think he just joined us in the FanDuel comment box. So Raider Hazard, I'm calling you out this week. You will be 4-2 once it's all said and done.
I'm going to be 1-5 after. There's just no way I'm going 0-6. It's just not happening. It can't happen. The law averages have to end up on my side eventually.
Better hope you don't go like the
Lions. I wrote this the other day. I think Zach hit me up on Twitter talking about his 5-0 team. I said, hey, I might end up like the Lions.
Here, let me see if I can share the screen.
Like 0-12.
Let me see if I can.
I hate ESPN. You got to go on Yahoo or FanDuel.
Let me see. Where is it? Here it is. You see that right now?
Yes, sir.
Probably. Those are the rankings right now. For
man, straight cash homie, 579 points he scored so far this year. He is straight killing. Offensive juggernaut right now.
That's with 379 points against. He scored 200 more points than his opponents have. He's got a plus 200 margin.
I don't even want to look at mines. I got to be the lowest scoring team in the league, right?
Let me see. You're at 412 points scored, which is not the lowest. There's 3 teams below you who have scored less, but you've had 518 points scored against you.
Do I have the
most?
worst? I have to exactly. I was gonna say it takes when I face people, they give me their best to defeat me. I understand that. Or you could look at it as I get the worst defense in fantasy.
That's how the fantasy football league lines up right now.
But, I'm like the Colts. I'm that special talent, but the team built around me is just not there. I got no defense, got no offensive line. It is what it is.
So diving into football, diving into the NFL TV ratings, I have a couple of things here pulled up on that. Surprisingly, this year, the NFL TV ratings have been down, and supposedly down by a lot. Let me see if I can. It says NFL games have been slipping. With the sports overall TV ratings down about 11% from last season.
But the hardest hit is Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football, I believe. I think Monday Night Football, last time I read, was down 19% in ratings, and Sunday Night Football around 15% that I'm aware of. And I think, everybody's got their own reasons for this decline. I got my reasons, which I've stated a million times on the Red Zone Blitz. So if you're a loyal Red Zone Blitz listener, and you're basically going to hear what I usually say, and you'll understand what's coming up out of my mouth. But a lot of people are pinpointing to the presidential election, crappy quarterback play. The superstars weren't there, like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning obviously retired. Aaron Rodgers not playing up to his usual self. They're blaming at those factors. I have different factors. Maybe it's a mixture of everything. But David, what do you think? What's up? And you guys in the FanDuel comment box, why do you think the ratings are down? And have you guys in the comment box stop watching certain packages like a Sunday night game, Monday night game, or Thursday night football, and what's the reason for you not watching?
Well, on a personal level, I am a single man as of this NFL season. The last two NFL seasons, that has not been the case. So on my personal level,
the honeys,
I
busy
actually
with the
have
honeys?
time. Hey, I have time to watch NFL. I have time to watch the games I want to watch, do what I want to do, right? Which in the last two seasons, not so much the case, because there was, times where I would be away from the television set. Now, for me, personally, TV ratings have been up. But for the NFL overall, I don't know. I mean, it might have to do with things like the presidential debates or other sports that are on. But, I mean, the argument can be made every single year. There's going to be playoff baseball this time of year during the NFL season. So I don't know if that's an argument. I don't think the talent that's out on the field, like the article that I just read said, oh, well, the Buccaneers and Panthers Monday night game was one of the lowest rated Monday night games since 2006. And Cam Newton wasn't on the field, and they're trying to, but I don't think that has anything to do with the ratings. People are going to watch those games regardless.
No, Cam Newton has, he's an established star in the NFL, and the Panthers have been disappointing so far this year, and the Buccaneers obviously have been, lackluster the last couple years. So I think that has something to do with it. But overall, I think the greater picture, there's other explanations.
I don't know what the explanation is this year why it's down. I can't put my finger on it.
Well, I think one of my biggest, peeves, and I've said this plenty of times on the Red Zone Blitz, and maybe it has something to do with a factor. For me, it is. It's always been a factor. There's too much football. Thursday night football. Sunday night football. Monday football. I always thought the NFL, what made it so special was one day of the week, Sunday. If you don't watch Sunday, you're basically missing football for the week. I know you have Monday Night Football, but I'm saying, the bulk of it, you miss Sunday, you're like, oh, man. Sunday's always been must-watch because that's when it was dedicated to, Sunday. Now, you have options. You miss Sunday, you can watch Thursday. You can watch Monday. And then later on in the season, you can watch Saturday. It's, to me, that's one of the problems. Like, you're giving us too much. And I don't, and most of the time, these Thursday night games are basura, okay? Straight trash. because these guys are tired. You know, they haven't recovered yet, etc. They don't have enough time to game plan. They're not as sharp. And it's just if you miss a game, you know you got something in the next couple days. And obviously there's social media. You got games showing on Twitter now. Last year was Yahoo. You know, people got streaming sites now which don't give you ratings. And people have cut cable out of their lives too. Not every household back in the day basically had cable. Nowadays, you really don't need cable. You got Netflix, and when some of these packages don't have ESPN. So remember, ESPN had about 90 million subscribers. Now they're down to, I think, 70 million or something. They've lost a lot of subscribers over the years because people do not want cable. So I think it's just a common. And another thing is esports. Going forward, you have to replenish, the fans, your viewers. Am I right or wrong? And you got to interest the young viewers. Twitch and esports are eating up a lot of the young viewers and future viewership. I think that's a thing sports have to worry about. 50 million to 100 million people watch Twitch each month. So that's a remarkable number of young eyes dedicated to somewhere else, to another space. And there's just entertainment dollars everywhere and eyes everywhere. UFC, just so many different sports and options nowadays, and Netflix that I think contributes to this decline in ratings. But if I had to pick my number one reason, I think there's just too much football on too many days.
That is one thing I would agree with. But I think one of the other things we should probably point out is, you mentioned it, is the fact that we have started to see some games being streamed on Twitter. I think it was, haven't they been Thursday night games?
Yeah.
So I think it might have been last week. I had a buddy text me. He's like, hey, you want to hang out tonight? Whatever. So yeah, sure. So I was hanging out with my friend. I was like, hey, I'm not in front of a TV right now. And I think I got an update or an email or something on my phone that said, hey, the game is live on Twitter. Open it up right there on my phone and I watch it. Now, I don't think those can be considered as TV ratings.
No.
So if it was on NFL Network, people are like, well, I'm not going to be near a TV tonight, and they know that it's going to be on Twitter. Maybe they're out and about watching the game on a mobile device versus sitting down inside their house watching it on TV. So potentially, if we are talking about Thursday night ratings being down for that specific number, it could be because people are watching it on Twitter versus their television set. But like you pointed out, man, there's a lot of different things, a lot of different factors that could be contributing to this. And I can tell you from a personal note, once I do decide to move out, right now we get TV or we get cable at my house. Once I'm out on my own very shortly here, I'm not buying cable. I'm gonna either stick to just Netflix, or I'm gonna do Netflix and on my PlayStation, I'm just gonna do the PlayStation View that they're offering. $30 a month, you get 55 channels, including ESPN, and I think Fox and all that stuff. So I can still watch my football. And I'm not going to pay, some crazy cable bill when I can just get it on my PlayStation, just pay monthly and call it a day. So people are starting to see that there's other options out there for them other than just being stuck with their cable contracts, because it's very 1980s, very 1990s, and even early 2000s to be stuck on cable. Technology has progressed now to the point where we can get our content from other sources rather than just a television set. So, yeah,
It says
I would have to agree with a lot of the points that
I'm reading an article about 2 weeks ago. It says more than 2 people watched Thursday night's game between Buffalo Bills and New York Jets for free on Twitter. It said any given time, an average of 243,000 people were watching the game on Twitter at any given time, while CBS and NFL Network, which simulcast the game, averaged about 15.4 million. No one expected Twitter to generate TV-level numbers, of course, blah, 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 blah. Except overall, let me just say, the experience of watching an NFL game on Twitter has been flawless. Love it. And you get to see the comments and the tweets right below it. I'm a big Twitter guy, so I'm all for it. I love it. But yeah, I just think there's so many different factors for why the ratings are so down. Overall, I don't think the NFL has really much to worry about. It's still a ratings juggernaut as of today, but maybe going forward, some eyebrows will raise. So, yeah.
Well, and that's also why they experimented with broadcasting a game from one of the London games last year on Yahoo. And I think that probably gave them some of the analytics that they were looking for numbers-wise. They wanted to see how many people would tune in, the longevity of that person tuning in, and they probably had to connect it somehow with certain hashtags and things like that on Twitter to kind of figure out the fan engagement. So I think they experimented with Yahoo and really saw that it probably had huge potential to kind of to blossom into something. And now they're testing it with Twitter. It could potentially, man, we could see some of these games, more than just one game a week, start being broadcasted on a Twitter or a Facebook or a Yahoo or whatever. And like you said, it's free. You don't have to buy a cable, or you don't have to have cable or NFL Network to watch a Thursday night game. So it's going to be interesting where the NFL decides to shift to future platforms based on the money that they're going to be able to get. Because just because people can watch it for free doesn't mean that they're losing money. It just means that Twitter's willing to shell out a lot of money in order for people to jump on Twitter to watch those games. So a lot of dollar figures that are going to go around in the future. And I think right now, I don't know if it would be safe to say this, but it wouldn't be crazy to say it, that going forward, we're not going to see as many games on TV versus potentially online somewhere. So,
well, it's just the future. Online is the future, but it's going to be some time before that happens. But overall, right. I don't think people should be worried. But, you got a game plan for the future. There's always changes when it comes to the future. So, hey, I like the direction it's going. Hopefully it continues with the Twitter. And I'm a big Twitter guy, so I hope NFL stays on that course, or Twitter stays on that course. But, when it comes to the business world, don't know what's going to go down. But let's talk about some actual football that we've seen on the field. And there's been a lot of talk this week. We know about the Cowboys rolling. They destroyed the Bengals this past weekend. And now the new talk this week is, should Romo be the starter when he's healthy? Jerry Jones said yes, he will be the starter when he's healthy. But everybody is disputing this notion. What do you think, David?
I think they should keep Dak Prescott in. Don't try to fix something that right now is not broken. They're a 4-1 football team. Who would have thought that? With a rookie running back, a rookie quarterback, and Dez Bryant not really being there to help the team out due to injury. Who would have thought that? Nobody. And they're a 4-1 football team. You keep Dak Prescott in until he starts to struggle, because Tony Romo is a proven quarterback, but without a doubt, this is Tony's last season in Dallas. It's too much of a cap hit. It's too much of a financial liability to keep a guy like Tony Romo on the team for his age and for his injury history. All signs point to Tony Romo making his exit and Dak Prescott entering in as the Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback. And it has to do with Romo being hurt, Romo's cap hit, and how much of a cap hit Dak Prescott is as a fourth-round rookie. Not very high at all. They can almost follow the blueprint that the Seattle Seahawks had a couple seasons ago with Russell Wilson, rookie quarterback, comes in. They can allocate that money towards other positions, especially this next free agency period, and they can potentially build a winning football team with a lot of talent depending on who's out there and who's available. So they have a good, I'd say good, solid 3 seasons, so long as Dak Prescott develops into, a promising quarterback. And I mean, he's only turned the ball over one time. I think this last week was the first time he turned the ball over. And I want to say it was a fumble. It wasn't an interception.
I totally agree. I
agree.
I think you're right about the fumble, the turnover.
So far, he's playing good football for a rookie quarterback.
Yes, he has. And I totally disagree with everyone here on this aspect. I'm with Jerry Jones because people seem to forget the argument of keeping Dak in right now. The only argument that I may go on the basis is Romo has been basically injury prone the last few times. That is the problem. And Michael Lombardi, this is his quote, durability is as important as ability. Totally agree. We talk about this all the time, right? Availability is the best ability, right? So I understand that sentiment. But when you're talking about on the field, they're smooth. They're a well-oiled machine right now. They're 4-1. Last time I checked, when Tony Romo was healthy, he threw for 34 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and they had a 12-4 record. He adds a different dynamic. Obviously,
when was that? 3 years ago?
2 years ago when he was healthy. We saw last year when he wasn't healthy, what kind of debacle they were without Tony Romo. Okay, that's how they ended up with Ezekiel Elliott, because Tony Romo was hurt. Not because of his play, it's because he was hurt.
Yeah, they also didn't have Dak.
I know that. Well, I understand that. Dak without Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know. We're going to see a 4-1 record. They're playing, I understand, solid. That running game is helping the defense, and Dak is doing a wonderful job. Not disputing that. But when healthy, Romo is a top 5, top 7 quarterback in this league.
Let me chime in, because I've never complimented Jerry Jones, all right, ever in my life. But the first compliment, and you're watching some Red Zone Blitz history right here. The first compliment I'm willing to give Jerry Jones is the fact that he knows how to build and maintain an offensive line. Why? Because he played the position at Arkansas. He knows what it takes to be a lineman. And I'm almost positive and almost certain that whoever decides to coach the Dallas Cowboys, whoever he brings in, he says, listen, do what you want with the team, but you better make damn sure that you have an offensive line. And that's what he's done for the last however many years. That team, year in and year out, are always talked about as having the best offensive line in football. And that's why Ezekiel Elliott has been so successful so far as a top 5 running team in the NFL. Elliott, I think last time I checked, led the league in rushing yards.
And Tony Romo's arm, adding that dynamic of a vertical game will open lanes and more space for Ezekiel Elliott. People forget 2 years ago when DeMarco Murray led the league in rushing, they had Tony Romo at quarterback. He only had 9 interceptions. People are acting like Tony Romo is some scrub, like he's Jay Cutler here, like he's like he's Alex Smith, top 5, top 7 quarterback in this league.
But you said it yourself. The best ability is availability, and that's why people are crapping on him.
It's been 1 year, okay, maybe 2. 1 year he's really been hurt. 2014 he was healthy and they rocked out, okay. Last year, and then he had this injury. Last year he was injured all year, and then unfortunately, they rushed him last year because they were crap at quarterback position. This time around, they don't have to rush him back. Wait till he's fully healthy. I'm not saying start him as soon as possible, but start him when he's fully healthy and give him back his job, because he never really lost it with his play on the field.
I mean, he didn't, but neither did. He said
terrible decision making. How are you going to say Tony Romo has this terrible decision? 9 interceptions. He has the most comeback wins in the NFL the last 5 years.
But he has no playoff wins.
And that's his fault, because his defense is trash. It's like getting on Peyton Manning. Oh, he's only got 2 Super Bowls.
I know.
It's like, so this is, to me, that's weak. It's weak, decision making, because you see him throw an interception. Yeah, I love how people blast. It's like remember versus the Packers when they scored like 50 points. He had 450 yards, 5 touchdowns. He threw an interception in the end. It was Tony Romo's fault. He scored 45 points. It was Tony Romo's fault. This guy just doesn't have it. What? Without him, this team is what it was last year. 2-14. Whatever the hell it was. Picking the 4th pick overall. He adds a different dimension. He makes that team better. You put players on the field because they make a team better. And if people are telling me Prescott makes the Cowboys better over Tony Romo, I'm not with that sentiment at all. Yes, they're 4-1 right now. Things are working for them. That doesn't mean, boom, you get rid of the guy.
Did you not see the injury that he suffered in preseason?
So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, if Adrian Peterson gets healthy, should we not start him anymore?
That's not my point.
I want to ask that question. If Adrian Peterson is healthy, the Vikings are rocking out right now. Should they say, you know what, Adrian Peterson, you're the 3rd running back now?
No.
I wonder why. I wonder why people don't say this. Huh? I wonder if the people in the chat room will say that.
Okay,
Keep Adrian Peterson on the bench.
He got folded like a lawn chair in preseason. Okay? With his back injury. Let the man heal.
That's what I'm saying. Wait till he's fully healthy.
You're 4-1. Don't rush him back. All right? If Dak is playing good football, let him play good football. And if he starts to kind of stink a little bit more towards the end of the season, put in Romo. And if Romo comes back to play like he normally does, hey, maybe the team makes the playoffs and he actually has a shot to win some football games rather than being banged up or whatever the case is, and he stinks up the joint. I don't know, man. The Dallas Cowboys have been a very weird team to watch the last 10 years. Very, very weird team because they always do it in the season or in the regular season, and if they ever do make it to the playoffs, they just don't get very far.
I just love the short-term memory of people. This man, when healthy, like I said, great statistics, led them to a great record and such. They rushed him last year, and he paid for it. So I'm just saying, wait till he's healthy, but bring him back. Jerry Jones is right about saying this is his job, and they should not just give it to Zach because they're 4-1. If that's the case, I want you to use that. This is what I hold everybody to, because when they say crap like this, everybody, if you're going to say stuff like that, David, or anybody else is going to say stuff like that, apply it to everyone. I want you to say Adrian Peterson should be the 3rd-string running back when he's healthy. I want you to apply that to Aaron Rodgers if the backup quarterback goes in a 5-winning streak. I want you to apply this across the board to everyone. If Jimmy Garoppolo, if Jimmy G, was 4-0 and he was playing well, how stupid would I sound or anyone sound saying, you know what, we should keep Tom Brady on the bench?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
How stupid would that sound? Okay, we know, people are going to be like, you can't compare Romo and Tom Brady. Okay, yeah, I'll give you that. But it still sounds stupid, right? So Adrian Peterson, I want everybody in the chat room that just said Romo should stay on the bench. Adrian Peterson.
If Tony Romo is healthy, all right, if he's healthy, you're really going to bench a $20 million quarterback? You're almost obligated to start him.
Well, no, because if he was an average quarterback, you got no problem with that. Because you're like, you know what, you're not losing much.
An average quarterback isn't going to be paid the amount of money that Tony Romo's paid.
Be wrong, because his name is Brock. He's getting paid $18 million. Okay, your boy Brock is getting $18 million a year. So, you got no problem with stuff like that. Jay Cutler, you got no problem with stuff like that. Matt Flynn, with the Russell Wilson and Matt Flynn situation years ago, if a guy's playing, is clearly winning the job and is a better player, no matter what the money is, you should put him in as the starter. But
And that's what I'm saying.
That's what
I'm saying with Dak.
Nah, Dak is not a better player than Romo. That's what
we don't know that. They're 4-1.
Oh my God, they're 4. All right.
He's how old is?
I said I just want to. That's it. I want Adrian Peterson to be the third string quarterback. I mean, good running back. That's it. Adrian Peterson. He's a bench player for the rest of his career with the Minnesota. That's what I want to. I want to hear people say this. This better become a topic of discussion by the quote unquote experts and analysts when Adrian Peterson is healthy.
All right. Well, let's like.
Do you think the Cowboys will be 4-1 with Romo? Why wouldn't I think the Cowboys would be 4-1?
What if they weren't? What if they're 3-2?
We don't know that. All I know is the last time I saw him play with an offensive line, with a running back, the same type of defense. It's not like they had a monster defense a couple years ago. They went 12-4.
Last I checked, he was running like this, and he got folded like a lawn chair.
And he did, yes. No one's disputing that. And then they also saw the urgency. He's like, you know what? This team is crap without Romo. This team was crap without Romo. I remember that last year, 4th overall pick. So we got one quarter of the season's in, and that's it. We're just get the hell out of. Here we go.
It's true what he just said. It's true.
Dak doesn't turn the ball over. Romo does. I said he had 9 interceptions. Is that turning the ball over for 34 touchdowns?
Yeah. You gotta add fumbles in there. Right?
I quit with you guys. I quit with you guys, man.
Oh man.
Adrian Peterson also no one says anything about Adrian Peterson in the comment box.
Adrian Peterson's a top 5 running back all time, man.
No one said anything about Adrian Peterson. Does Adrian Peterson fumble the ball?
Yeah, he fumbles the ball.
But no one wants to bring up his name. No one wants to say it. No one wants to say it. No one wants to say Adrian Peterson. Look at all the other seasons with Romo. Yes, I remember all the other seasons with Romo. He's always threw a lot of touchdowns and carried that team. That's what I remember about Romo. People act like Romo's a scrub. I just don't understand it. The most comeback wins in the last, 5 years. But no one wants to talk about that. I just don't understand. The man has 247 touchdowns with 117 interceptions. Not a bad ratio. Not bad at all. You said Adrian Peterson doesn't. Zach is not on pace to have an amazing season. Prescott he's not gonna end up with 40 touchdowns this year.
If he ends up with, you know what? We talked about Dak. Out of curiosity, what do his numbers even look like? Okay. I don't even know.
He's got 4 touchdowns.
He's got 4 touchdown passes?
4 touchdown passes.
No picks?
No picks.
How many yards? How many yards and what's his completion percentage?
He's got a 69 completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Well, I can't see his running stats right now. I know he's got some running.
1,200 yards. He's averaging like about 250 yards a game and about a touchdown. That's
he's got 3 rushing touchdowns, so he's got 7 touchdowns total.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's a little better. But still, more like I'd say a little bit of like a game manager.
So I can't believe this. Drew Lee saying, I'll take Dak. He wins games. He's got 4 wins in his career. 4 wins in his career, and we're talking about him like, yo. You know who else had 11 wins in their first year? Matt Castle. How did that turn out, guys? How did Matt Castle turn out for the Chiefs? I'm wondering. How did that turn out, David?
Poo-poo.
He had 11. He had a Pro Bowl year. 11 wins. The small sample size, people are just ready to jump on the bandwagon. Don't count me. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I answered the question, would you start Dak or continue to start Dak?
Nope.
Over Tony Romo.
Hell no.
Yes. And I said yes in the realm of if the team, is not struggling, if the team is vibing, because man, football is a lot about chemistry. Okay, if the team is continually successful with a Dak Prescott in the present, or in the near future, you continue to play Dak.
Oh, so that also mean Des Bryant should be gone too then.
Des has played some games.
No, Des hasn't been in the last 2 games, and they have 2 straight wins. So by everyone's estimation here, Romo's the backup, Des Bryant maybe the 4th receiver now. Or trade him. So, why not? They're 4-1. The legend that's it. The legend is here. Okay? It's Prescott and Elliott. That's it. Get rid of everybody else. Get rid of Romo and Des Bryant. Let's see how that rocks out.
Free up a lot of cap, man. No.
But I agree with you about the long-term situation. It might be Romo's last year, and I would love to see Romo in a Jets jersey.
No love for Geno? Ain't no love. No love for Geno? Hackenberg?
Hackenberg 2 years. You got to give him a while, man. You got to get those fundamentals all together.
Rice, Petty?
Stop it. My Jets are a joke. Man. So I think someone asked me a question earlier in the chat.
Go back. Read the comment. Let's hear it.
He said, am I worried about the Jets? Am I worried? We suck. It is nothing to worry about. We ain't going to make the playoffs this year. What I'm worried about is the offseason. Who's going to be our starting quarterback next year? All right? Who's going to be our starting running back next year? Who's going to be there's some Eric Decker's out for the year now. That broke out. Who's going to be our cornerback? Who's going to be our secondary next year? Revis is going to probably be hopefully safety.
What's good with Calvin Pryor?
Calvin Pryor, he's just, overall the whole secondary is not having a good year at all. We're giving up way too many big plays. I think we've given up the most 40-yard passing plays in the league for touchdowns by far. And, Sam Coates had 2 of them? No, he had 172-yard for a touchdown and a 4-yard touchdown. But we're just giving up big-time plays. And the pass rush isn't there. It's just a lot of problems right now.
What is the record right now?
1-4.
1-4. Not looking good, man.
So you know what? Hey, I don't care. Let's go 1-15. So Zach is saying there's some nice quarterbacks this year. Let's go 1-15 and draft ourselves a quarterback. I don't care. Just because we drafted someone, I always say this. I don't care if we just drafted one. If there's another one you feel that's better or could be a franchise guy and he's a franchise guy now, take him. Take him. Take him. Or her. If there's a female franchise quarterback, take her. I don't care. We need a change. Okay, we got some
nice talent. A couple more tickets. Or maybe, I don't know how it would work.
We need to revamp our offensive line a little bit, get younger on that. It's just, it is what it is. My Jets just suck, and I'm just used to it. So am I worried? No, I'm not worried. We just suck.
Hey, man, how about shout out to the guys in the FanDuel comment box, man? We haven't.
Black Mamba is over here.
Zachification.
Niner Faithful.
Andre. Niner Faithful. Black Mamba. Who else has been here? Gerver Dillon. Raider Hazard. Shout out to everybody who Ayo, it's Mikey, Andrew Kim, Super Hippo. Shout out to all you guys, man. No show without you guys.
Lord Gaines.
No show without you guys, so we appreciate it. See if you guys have any questions for us so far here. I think I did see something regarding Dak, though. Who said it? I think it was Drew Lee. He said the decision would have to come down to next week when they play the Packers. If they beat the Packers in that game, then I would keep Dak Prescott. I think that's in Lambeau, too. Playing a Green Bay Packers team on the road against an Aaron Rodgers team, but the best running defense right now in the NFL is the Green Bay Packers, the stingiest team who's not giving up any yards on the ground. The Green Bay Packers going up against one of the best top rushers in the league right now, statistically being Elliott. It's going to be a clash, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out in that game. Random question: when do you start reviewing draft prospects, David? That's from Niner Faithful. December. Usually mid-December, I start popping in the tape. I look at the list of the top prospects.
Well, find a quarterback for my Jets. How about that one?
Well, right now everyone's talking about the guys out of Clemson and Louisville, so I would suggest you go watch them and see who you like. I watched the Louisville Clemson game.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna like anybody because every time I like a quarterback, I just don't take him anyway. Okay, so it doesn't even matter. I said,
yeah, you like Derek Carr.
Derek Carr was my number one. You know, all he did was go in the second round, so all we did was have a million chances to get him, trade for him. But it is what it is. So I'm not gonna like anybody. I'm gonna hate everything. So because if I like anything, it's gonna be a jinx.
Who's a Clemson quarterback, man? I'm bad with names until I decide to actually watch these guys.
And I tweeted at them. I said, hey, get Derek Carr. I tweeted at them. I told them. It wasn't inside information.
Deshaun Watson, I watched, and I don't remember, but I think in the Louisville game, he didn't look too good. He was all right. Louisville, QB. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's statistics have been insane this year. So those are two guys to watch. Lamar Jackson out of Louisville and Deshaun Watson out of Clemson. Those are two quarterbacks being talked about right now. But I don't know anything about them besides what I've seen so far, and I haven't seen very much. So my opinions will come in probably December, January, and February. Hopefully I'll have some time and I'll make those draft profiles. Opinions on Sam Bradford so far. This comes from Juan Pablo Livingston.
I wish he was a Jet. I said that too. I said the Jets should trade for him. Remember I said that? But no one listens to me. No one listens to me. Ever listens to me. Sam Bradford has done a wonderful job in that limited time learning that offense in Minnesota. You know, he's given them a legitimate starting quarterback option that Bridgewater went down. So I think he's an upgrade over Bridgewater. I think it was aggressive, and I agreed with the move, and it's worked out so far.
Yeah, it definitely has worked out so far, but it's definitely going to be interesting, man. What happens to Teddy Bridgewater? That is a huge topic in and of itself.
I don't think so. I think, hey, you keep him on the bench. It's not like he's Tony Romo.
No.
34 touchdowns.
They probably end up trading him.
No, I think you keep him. Why would you get? It's so hard to get a quality.
Teddy's not going to want to stay there. You think Teddy?
That's not his problem. That's his problem. You have a contract. Okay? You shut the hell up. Be the backup quarterback. You want to leave? Wait till you're a free agent. Because guess who's a free agent? And I think 2 years' time, Sam Bradford. So you keep Sam Bradford around until he struggles or his contract's over, and then you insert Bridgewater if you like. But until then, I don't think you have to trade. You don't trade quarterbacks. You just don't. Okay, if you got
the Eagles did.
But yeah, they didn't draft. They had a second overall pick, and they got a nice rent. You're not gonna get a 1-4 for Bridgewater. That's when you trade quarterbacks. When you get a ransom thrown at you. You don't trade Bridgewater for a fourth.
A team out there will draft or will trade for Bridgewater.
A one?
Once he's healthy. There will be a team who will be desperate enough.
I don't know. If there's a first rounder, maybe, I guess. Maybe. But overall, you don't put them on the trade block. You just don't. They're hard enough to find, and if you got two of them, believe me, you got one of the best problems in the NFL. That's one of the best problems to have in the NFL.
Oh,
Hey,
it
it's
absolutely
Mikey.
is.
Derek Carr is having a nice, fine year. Matt Ryan, to me, is the leading MVP of the league right now.
I think there's a number one team in the NFL right now, and it's not the Minnesota Vikings.
I'm not going with the Falcons. Nope, not yet.
It's the Falcons.
I'm not going with them yet.
Right now, it is the Falcons.
I know they beat the Broncos.
On the road.
I know Matt Ryan's MVP level. Julio Jones, arguably the best wide receiver in football. Their running game has been on point. What will make the Falcons super dangerous is their pass rush gets it together. And this past week, Vic Beasley, remember we were talking about him absolutely being quiet, had 4 sacks last week. You know, obviously he's not going to get 4 sacks every week. But if they can start generating a pass rush, that's when I'll be like, okay, these Falcons are one of the, elite. Until then, I'm not going to go. They've had a nice start to the year. They're smacking people in the mouth. They beat the Broncos, the defending champions, but I am not on that level just yet. You got to look at them. You got to look at them legitly, but I'm not going to say they're contenders. They're the top dogs of the NFL right now. I can't go with that.
Who's your top dog then?
Oh, man. I will go with the Patriots. If you're talking about top dog, I'm going with the Patriots. Okay? 3-1 without Tom Brady. He comes back, destroys the Browns. Lewis is not even healthy yet. Grunk hasn't, is not 100% yet. I'm going with the Patriots. Cream of the crop. And I hate to say that.
There are 10 teams right now in the NFL that have 1 loss or less. 10 teams. Patriots 4-1, Steelers 4-1, Raiders 4-1, Broncos 4-1, Cowboys 4-1, Eagles 3-1. So I think it's 11 teams. I didn't include the Eagles there. I didn't see them. Vikings 5-0, Packers 3-1, Falcons 4-1, and Seahawks 3-1. So, I mean, out of all those teams, Seahawks, Falcons, who's better right now?
Seahawks.
I'd say Falcons. The Seahawks, their first 2 games of the year.
Who are you going to trust in playoffs more?
I mean, you got to go with the team with the experience.
So what are you telling me? What does right now mean? It doesn't mean anything if Matt Ryan has always.
I like the Falcons.
Matt Ryan has always crumbled in the playoffs. Okay, he's got that Andy Dalton thing going on. Those two always crumble in the playoffs. So Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks in the playoffs. So overall, I'm taking the Seahawks over the Falcons.
All right. What about a team like the Packers or the Vikings or the Cowboys?
Yeah.
Those are all teams that are on that list.
Like Zach just said, even though I won't go that far, he said I have to see the Falcons clinch a playoffs and win the Super Bowl before they take them seriously.
Win the Super Bowl.
No, I'm not saying all that. I'm saying is what he's trying to say is last year, what they started out 5-0, 6-0, and
I don't remember actually.
Got destroyed after that. Absolutely fell apart. So, sometimes it's got to be more than 4 or 5 games to show that you're. Oh man, that's why I'm not jumping on the Prescott bandwagon. 5 games into this career, that's it. He's the boss.
Hey, what happened to the St. Louis or the Los Angeles Rams bandwagon after they started 3-1?
So I give him give Prescott the MVP trophy now. Give him a Super Bowl trophy right now. Give him a star.
Jumping on the Rams bandwagon. You jumping on the Rams bandwagon. You're an airhead, man. I got these sitting here. I can't eat them yet because I'm on air.
The Bills won that game, right?
The Bills beat them.
Yeah.
So if you are an airhead, right, and you were on that bandwagon, you're like, oh, time to get off.
I wasn't on it. I said I was looking at it.
This is my award. You got the boot. I got the airhead award. Just smack the camera. Quit being an airhead. Stop jumping on bandwagons.
I was looking at the bandwagon. Then the
Stop
Bills came.
looking at bandwagon, man.
Then the Bills came around and just kicked it over. I was like, oh, good thing I wasn't on that bandwagon. I was looking at it, but I didn't hitch the ride.
Hey.
I didn't put the thumb out. I didn't put the thumb out for hitch a ride. I was. So don't be looking at me. I said I was looking at it. I was like, oh, look at that bandwagon. Oh, it's got some nice colors. Those wheels got some 18s on it. Those rims is looking clean. And then the Bills came and smacked it. I was like, oh, okay. Damn, those 18s ain't looking that sharp now.
I think it was the NFL page, NFL memes or whatever on Facebook. They're like, well, Panthers bandwagon fans have reportedly jumped off the bandwagon. Reports are surfacing that the Minnesota Vikings are their next destination. Or they're visiting with the Minnesota Vikings this week.
Yeah. Are the Panthers done?
Man, they lost to the Buccaneers, man.
They lost without Cam. They got no Jonathan Stewart, no Cam.
Not in that division. Now with the way the Falcons are looking right now, I'm going to say they're done. They're not making the playoffs this year. I'm throwing in the towel on the Panthers right now.
I'm not.
Hey, if they salvage a couple of wins, here and there, like, oh, they're looking good. They're, at 6-6. I don't see it. I give up.
I'm not giving up on the Panthers. You got the reigning MVP. Okay.
That's fine. He's not going to be the MVP every season. He was the MVP last season. He's not the MVP this season.
I'm not giving it up just yet. Not yet. It's going to be a little tough. Obviously, it's going to be a tough challenge now. I'm giving up on the Jets. The Jets are done. They're finished. They're cooked. Okay, let's get that number one pick rocking and rolling. Panthers, I think they have enough to turn it around. I know their defense has not been as stout, but their running game, which helps out the defense, has not been consistent. And, like I said, they got the reigning MVP who's getting smacked around. Their offensive line I think Cam has something to do with that too. Cam likes to hold the ball a little too long, just like Big Ben used to love holding the ball a little too long. So I think it's a combination of that. But I think the Panthers can have a chance to turn this around. Why not? Reigning MVP, I'm not giving up on him yet. Yeah, eat the airhead because Zach just said David was on the Browns bandwagon.
When? What was on the Browns bandwagon? I probably was at some point.
You know what? Zach talking about never count out Carolina or Arizona. Me saying the Jets are done, watch them beat Arizona. Just watch them do it.
Well, it's always one of those games where you just don't expect it,
It's going to happen. But they're going to do it. They're going to beat
I like the Panthers' defense more than I like the Panthers' offense. Kuechly, Kawan Short, Star Latulele. That secondary, though, is a different story. That's the thing. I like the fact that they have a front seven that can get after the quarterback. But, I mean, no Josh Norman. They released Benny Benwickery. Who do they have at corner now? That's a good question. I don't think I can name anybody.
Man, I have no idea, bro. I just know they just need to turn it around. Hey, Zach, I can always count out the Jets, right? Damn. FanDuel comment box. How about the Browns playing 3 quarterbacks in one game? That was a mess. You're talking, David? We can't hear you. Are you eating airheads? My bad. Eating a lot of General Men.
I knew I should not have opened that because they're just too addictive. They're too addictive. I can't stop.
I was never a big airhead guy. Sorry.
I never really was either up until recently. I just kind of acquired a taste, and I've been buying them a little more often now. So.
No, I'm not an airhead guy. I just, I did have a ice cream sandwich. I already said that at the top of the show, so my bad.
Don't count out the Jets, says Zachification.
They always find a way to go 9-7, and miss the playoffs. So you know what's the thing about that pisses me off about going 9-7 and miss the playoffs? We don't even get a high draft pick. Like, I might as well go either or. Do really well or really suck. I don't need the middle. I don't need the middle right now.
Says Daryl Worley and James Bradbury. I think isn't Bradbury a rookie? Didn't they just draft him, or was he drafted last year? What the heck was his name? Daryl Bradbury? No, James Bradbury. I'm pretty sure he's a recent draft pick. Yeah, he was drafted in the second round in 2016.
Black Mamba over here laughing at the pain of the Jets fans. That's what happens when you have Patriots fans up in here. They just laugh at your misery. Smile.
Well, I didn't get a chance to do my picks for this week. So, Denver at San Diego tomorrow. That should be a good one, especially with the amount of points San Diego knows how to put up. They can put up the points. They just don't know how to close out games.
Man, you're talking about the biggest heartbreak, the biggest tease in the NFL.
Yeah.
Easily the biggest tease in the NFL. Dude, how did they just keep losing these games? It's like they're doing it for fun. They're doing it for fun now. Oh, man, it's terrible.
Did we talk about the Panthers cutting Ben Wicker? We talked about him last week. Did I talk to you about Ben Wicker being cut last week?
I don't remember.
Another show.
It could have been another show.
Okay. Well, I released, for those who don't know, I released a show called Cover One. And it's whenever it has nothing to do. I mean, me and Ezra will do the Red Zone Blitz every Wednesday. But whenever I feel like just I got nothing going on, I want to jump on YouTube, talk to you guys about football. I'm gonna do Cover One. It's me playing. I'm playing at high safety. You guys are playing defense, and we tackle NFL topics. Cover One. That's all it is. So if you guys ever see me on live, I'll put it up on Twitter. I'll say, hey, I'm live right now. You guys can jump in. You guys can talk to me whenever you guys feel like it. Just another outlet, I guess, for the channel whenever I decide to broadcast. That's where I talked about Ben Wickery being cut. And I was walking in my house, and I get an update on my phone, and it says Ben Wickery gets cut by the Panthers. The first thought that went to my mind was they used him as a scapegoat almost. Like, they needed somebody to point the finger at, and that's who they pointed the finger at. I didn't watch that game. I don't know if he was covering Julio. I'm assuming he was. But, I mean, you can't cut a guy after, a receiver who they gave up 300 yards to a receiver. That's an anomaly, man. That doesn't happen every week. You got to chalk it up, say, hey, he had a bad week. Let's move on. But I don't know if Ben Wickery's played poorly for the first 4 or 5 games of the season, or if it was just based on the fact that he played poorly against Julio Jones. So if it was that fact, if it was most of the decision making came from the fact that he played terribly against Julio Jones, then the Panthers should be ashamed of themselves, and they should not have cut Ben Wickery. But I'm assuming he's going to get picked up by someone soon if he hasn't already. I haven't heard if he has or if he hasn't. But that's my 2 cents on him.
I'm picking my games right now in the Pick'em League.
Yeah, I was about to let me look up if anyone picked up Ben Wickery. Dolphins signed him 2 days ago. They cleared him off a waiver.
Suck. I'm officially off that. I'm tired of giving them good praise and and high hopes and all that. I'm done. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah. So he's now a Miami Dolphin. Anyway, Pick'em League, Denver at the San Diego Chargers. Ezra, who you got?
I'm going San Diego to get off the schneid. Okay.
This is a tough one.
They've just been like something Zach just said. They should be 5-0. They should be 5-0.
The Chargers?
Yes. And they just can't get it done.
All right, last please.
I'm good. Oh man, what am I doing here?
What are you doing?
I'm doing.
All right. I'm going to go with the Chargers as well. The San Francisco 49ers at the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going with the Bills. The Bills.
No love for Colin Kaepernick. He comes back this week, retains, he takes back his starting job from Blaine Gabbert. I'm going with the Bills as well. I didn't think it was that big of news, even though that's probably, I think it's in the title of the show right now. Kaepernick comes back. Whatever. They're still, I think, going to stink up the joint anyway. I'm taking Buffalo at home. Their defense has been great. It hasn't let them down yet. Marcel Darius came back this last weekend. They've looked good, man. I like what the Buffalo Bills have done. They did get off to that 0-2 start, but take the Bills at home. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Chicago Bears.
Oh my God. I'm sorry. They won't even let me inside my damn Yahoo account so I can do my Pick'em League. Now, what was your last question? I apologize.
Jacksonville at Chicago.
Okay, I got even though Brian Hoyer has been playing really well recently, and it seems like they found their running back for the future because Jordan Howard has 2 back-to-back 100-yard games. I'm going to go with Jacksonville on the road here because they lose a game like this, I think would be, collapsing their season. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I'm going to go with Jacksonville to save their season.
I'm sitting here munching like a maniac. Yeah, I'm going to go with Jacksonville as well. I wouldn't say this is a game that they need to win to save their season, but it's definitely a step in the right direction, which I think many people thought record-wise they would at least had a couple more wins than they already have. So I think this is a team that the Jaguars can handle right now. It's a banged-up team. Even if it is on the road, they're coming off of a lot of rest after playing in London. So I like the Jaguars in this one. Next one is the Rams at the Lions.
Rams at the Lions. After seeing the Rams bandwagon on the ground being toppled by the Bills, I've turned the corner with Matthew Stafford. I like their offense. I like how they're spreading the ball. And Theo got involved last week in the passing game. And they're at home. I'm going with Detroit. Because the Rams just they can't be putting they're not consistent with putting points on the board. The good thing about it is Todd Gurley has not got it going just yet. This could be one of those games where Todd Gurley actually gets a rocking and carries them to a victory. But I'm going to go with the consistency overall of Matthew Stafford here.
I'm going to take the Lions as well. The bandwagon of the St. Louis Rams, I keep saying St. Louis, the Los Angeles Rams, there is no bandwagon. There never has, there never will be this season. They get another loss. I'm going Lions. Next up, the stinkiest of all the stinkers this week, Cleveland Browns at the Tennessee Titans. I'm going. You know what? I'm going with the Cleveland Browns, man. They get their first win right here.
I'm also going with the Browns. I got them on my pick. Yeah. And I don't know why, because I think DeMarco Murray's going to smack them up left and right. Yeah,
I do too. But the thing is with that,
they've been playing hard though. At least the Cleveland.
Who's starting for them at quarterback?
I don't know. I got Terrell Pryor in my FanDuel, so I hope he does.
Good God. We totally should be picking the Titans. You know that, right?
I know. And they're on the road too, but I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah. Oh, God, I should switch this pick, but I'm not going to. All right, Pittsburgh at Miami.
Let me see what everybody's picking in pick this. Everybody's picking Tennessee too. 94% is picking Tennessee. 6% Browns.
Hey, but you never know. It's always that one game.
I'm going with the 6%.
Right. Me too.
I think this is the gimme of the week because I'm done with this team. I got no faith in them and watch them win anyway. I'm going with Pittsburgh Steelers over the Miami Dolphins because the Dolphins are an absolute atrocity right now. If there's one franchise that I think is making me vomit more than the Colts, I think I might go with the Dolphins. Okay?
They haven't been relevant.
There's been the biggest joke. I think that, when you talk about talent, expectations, and, where you see a team going, and, I think the Dolphins, it's not like I expect them to be Super Bowl contenders, but the talent they have, the players they have, this is easily, I think, the most disappointing team in the NFL. It's just the way they're not losing games; they're getting smacked across the face disrespectfully. Okay, all right. There's.
When was the last time they were relevant?
You know who the Dolphins are right now? They're the random people that are walking in GTA that get ran over, or you just run up to them, you pistol whip them, and take their money. That's what the Dolphins are right now. They're just a random people in GTA. The civilians in GTA. When you go steal a car, you elbow them in the face and throw them out the car. Get out of here. That's who the Dolphins are right now. Straight up.
When was the last time they did anything?
I'm telling you, they're just getting the disrespect is real. Teams are going to their stadium, smacking them across the face, and taking their stadium over. They're taking the field. That's who the Dolphins are for me right now. They're the GTA's civilians. That's what they are. I'm done.
Can we drive? Imagine a helmet with like the civilian logo somehow. Like you just see like a sidewalk with a couple of people on it, and I don't know, maybe see a car coming at them in the background. I don't know.
That's what they do. They're just running up. That's what the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do. They're just going to run up to the car, throw them out, check their money, get in the car, and drive off. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's kind of sad because I kind of lump them in with the Browns when it comes to NFL relevancy. The Browns haven't been relevant in forever. When the hell were the Dolphins?
I think the Browns are more relevant than the Dolphins the last couple of years.
Right, because they're so irrelevant that we talk about them and make them relevant.
At least I think we talk about the Browns more on the Red Zone Blitz the last couple of years easily.
When do we ever talk
Johnny
about
the Dolphins? Are never. They're probably the most. If you're more irrelevant than the Jacksonville Jaguars, because first of all, let me ask everyone inside the chat room: have you ever been to Jacksonville? Okay, no one talks about Jacksonville. No one cares about Jacksonville. No one visits Jacksonville. And Miami's more irrelevant than them. It's a problem. That's why you got to play. Jacksonville has to play one of their home games in London because that's how irrelevant they are. And the Dolphins have been more irrelevant than them. So it is what it is.
Between them and the Titans, I think. Just teams that you don't really...
Well, at least the Titans, you talk about them because they got Marcus Mariota. The Browns, they had Johnny Manziel. They had a story there. We spoke about the Dolphins for one offseason because they picked up Sue. And now we don't even talk about Sue amongst one of the great players in the NFL.
Got paid.
Okay? No one talks about him being, when you talk about Sue now, it's like, oh, Sue? Like he's a scrub. So.
Yeah, like Zachification said, the last time they were even relevant wasn't even for something they were doing on the field. It was the fact that they were trying to sign Peyton Manning.
Yeah, you mean, remember when they botched? Remember they didn't sign Drew Brees because of the shoulder situation? How did that turn out for them?
It's small decisions that just... It's a small decision that could have altered the NFL universe, and it didn't. He went to the Saints, and guess what? They won a Super Bowl. Could have been the Dolphins. LOL.
Anyway, I'm done talking about the GTA civilian drivers.
We talked about the Dolphins, I think, in
you mean we've joked around? We joked on the Dolphins.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, next game on the schedule should be a good one. The Cincinnati Bengals head to New England to play the Patriots. It's got to go New England, though.
Especially after Cincinnati got their ass handed to them by the Cowboys.
I did forget about that. That is true.
They got rocked.
They did.
They got rocked. But I'm gonna be a jerk here. The only reason I'm going with the Bengals is because they got embarrassed last week, and hopefully they show some pride and come back and win this game. But I don't see why they will win this game. But I'm gonna go with them.
The Bengals?
I'm going with the Bengals because for their pride.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Did I tell you this last week? Who was I telling? I think and Marvin Lewis gets fired. Tom Coughlin? I would love to see Tom Coughlin with the Bengals.
Yeah, you said it here on the Red Zone Blitz.
I was talking about the Bengals and the Jaguars, right? I will, him going back to the Jaguars or something amongst the lines. But Tom Coughlin with the Bengals, nice talent over there. Andy Dalton, AJ Green.
I don't see the Patriots losing in Foxborough, and I don't see them with a well-rested Tom Brady who's been off for 4 weeks and just came back and
Hey, it's illogical what I was saying. Like I said, it was going to be illogical.
Next one up, Panthers on the road going to New Orleans.
I picked Panthers off of the strength that Cam Newton will be back and control the Saints' soft defense. But if he is still injured, I'm going with the Saints. But right now I got the Panthers.
Earlier I said the Panthers are done. I'm sticking to it. I'm going with the Saints at home.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do. Baltimore Ravens on the road going to the New York Giants.
I want it to be an interesting game. The Giants have not played well all year. They had we spoke about Beckham, which we should give a little credit to. He scored that touchdown and he hugged the net. Did you see that?
I did see that.
He hugged the net, so let's give him some credit. But the Giants still suck right now. Their offense, man, they haven't even scored 100 points yet on the year. And they're going against a veteran team like the Baltimore Ravens, who just I think they lost this past weekend. And Jim Harbaugh rarely loses back-to-back. I'm going with the Ravens, and I think that there should be a lot of concern with the New York Giants and their fans about this team. Offense is just not getting it right. This offensive line is terrible, too, for the Giants.
I'm going with the Giants at home. That's it.
Ooh. Okay.
How about this next one? The Philadelphia Eagles on the road playing the Washington Redskins.
Ooh, guess who's the hottest team in the division? No, it's not this. Okay.
I'm taking the Redskins.
I'm going with the Redskins, too. They're on a 3-game winning streak.
They got a sneaky good 3-2 record right now.
But their defense sucks. That's their thing. They've given up the most points in the division, 122 points, while the Eagles have been easily the best defense in the division with only giving up 51 points. That's a 71-point difference there. And they scored about the same amount of points. But I'm going with the Redskins because maybe Carson Wentz feels the pressure of being on the road and just suffering his first loss.
Could tumble.
So Redskins. I'm going with the Redskins here.
Kansas City Chiefs at the Oakland Raiders.
I want to pick the Chiefs here for some reason.
Oh, sorry. There's a game on the schedule coming up here.
I want to pick the Chiefs here, but since Oakland's at home, I'm going with the Oakland Raiders because Oakland's at home.
I'm taking the Oakland Raiders to go 5-1.
I'm going there too because they're home. Just because they're at home. Oh, this is a game.
Man, they've just been looking good. Unless, the X factor in this game is whether Jamal Charles comes back like Jamal Charles or comes back as a pedestrian GTA Jamal Charles who maybe gets 50 yards on, 15 carries. So I'm sticking with the Raiders. Next game, Dallas at the Green Bay Packers. I wonder who I'm going to pick. That's tough.
You going to pick the Jets?
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Green Bay.
Yeah, well, they're at home.
Come on, Mr. Prescott.
This and that. All this talk. I'm going Green Bay. Even though Aaron Rodgers, I'm not going to blame it on Aaron Rodgers. This offense just has not been up to their standard.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. Not at all. Like, what's going on? Is it the offensive line, that running game? I think it's something to do with that running game. Like, your boy Eddie Lacy, I don't know.
He's fat, man. He's a big guy.
Like, ever since his rookie year, he just has, what has he done? He's been running to McDonald's. That's the only place he's been running to. He's been cutting those lines. Trucking people on that McDonald's line. And I think it's the offensive line, too. It has something to do with that, too. I saw Eddie Lacy had a nice stiff arm last week against the Giants. That was funny.
Packers, man, #1 run defense going up against Zeke Elliott. They're gonna. I think the Packers D will impress some people.
Well, okay. Do you think it's a legit #1 run defense, or do you think it's because some of the teams they faced?
They were before this Giants game, because the Giants were, I think, one of the worst teams in the league when it came to running. So going into the bye week, their first 3 games, they shut down their first 3 opponents, including injuring AP. So he didn't play a full game. But
but they think about it. The Jaguars, no, not very scary. Chris Ivory was hurt.
I've watched them. them. It hasn't been.
Detroit doesn't run the ball. I don't.
There's a difference between statistically being the #1 team and physically watching it with your 2 eyeballs and seeing guys swarming, around the ball carrier, not 1 or 2 guys.
Swarming against these garbage backs and garbage teams that don't know how to run the ball.
They held AP before he was out, before he got hurt in that game.
Straight up. Overall, I don't believe the hype right now.
AP had like 10 yards.
I'm not on that. The #1 rush defense hype. Not on it yet. Not on it yet. Okay? When you stop a little, you show me this week. You're going up against the best offensive line.
I hope you can watch it.
Okay?
I hope it's in your area.
Okay, and I still have Tony Romo as my starter when he comes back. Okay? I'm not saying the Packers are, get destroyed on the running game, but show me that you really are the #1 rushing.
Right, we'll see.
Defense.
We'll see what happens this week.
So, I'm not on that yet.
All right, how about this one, baby? Right here. Ready? The Atlanta Falcons at the Seattle Seahawks. As mentioned before.
And Seattle's at home, too.
I'm taking the Falcons.
I had the Falcons, but since we were talking smack earlier, I'm going to switch it to the Seahawks at home, saving my pick. Made the switch just to go against you, David. Okay?
And keep in mind, they just went on the road and defeated the defending Super Bowl champs, so don't think Seattle is some hotshot team right now either.
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of Seattle anyway.
Barely, the team you were just unloading on, the Miami Dolphins, week 1, could have pulled out a win in Seattle, and they didn't do it. So, I mean, if they could barely beat Miami at home, good luck against a hot Atlanta Falcons team right now. Indianapolis at the Houston Texans.
This might be the garbage game of the week. But I know we were talking about Tennessee versus the Browns, which is probably clear #1, but this would be the second to me, this is the second garbage game of the week. And that's Texans versus Colts. And I'm going to go with the Texans. If your boy Brock doesn't do anything this week, please, can you drop him from the –
hold that thought.
Can you drop him from your faithful?
Hold that thought. Hold on.
Over here jumping on that Brock bandwagon.
I jumped on that bandwagon.
He's the answer. They got themselves a legitimate starter now. The Texans.
Back in the day, I actually made videos on my channel for this stuff, right? Back in the day, I was like, you know what, man? There's this guy by the name of Brock Osweiler. And he's backing up a guy named Peyton Manning in Denver. And you know what? When Peyton Manning retires, this Brock Osweiler guy, he's going to be something.
So what did I do? You kept his card?
I went out. Here's a rookie card, right? Here's a rookie card, right?
You might as well burn it.
Here's a signed rookie card, right?
No wonder you want him to be so good.
Hold on. Here's a jersey patch card. Here's another jersey patch. I put some stock into this guy, and he stinks.
You put your money into that.
This guy put money. He stinks. He hasn't done nothing. What has he done? Nothing. He hasn't done nothing. He stinks. So before you talk about after this week, if they lose to the Colts, there is no after this week. I already gave up on the guy because he stinks. Oh. So, yes, that's why I've got the Colts this week on the road against the Texans. Because he can't even get DeAndre Hopkins a damn ball.
Well, he's got Will Fuller. He's got Fuller some action. He's making it rain Brock Osweiler cards. Oh, man. That's the guy you bought. You got a bunch of his cards, man.
They weren't expensive at the time.
I know that. Well, believe me.
Who the hell he was.
They must have gave you that for free at the supermarket.
No. I'm gonna have to go collect those after the show. Anyway.
Well, Zach said. Well, no. Zach, I think Zach is a little wrong here. John Elway knows what it takes to be a QB. If he wasn't willing to pay Osweiler, I think he's slightly above mediocre. The thing is, John Elway was close to paying him. He just didn't. I think it was a $15 million to $18 million. It was like a $3 million difference on money, if I remember correctly. So, John Elway was pretty close to paying him, just not what he wanted exactly. Like, my thing was, this guy had his chance last year. Peyton Manning was a shell of himself. And when Peyton Manning was healthy, they brought him back because Brock wasn't doing anything. And he has plenty of weapons over there. I mean, okay, what's going to be different with Houston? He has less weapons. He doesn't have he doesn't have an offensive-minded coach that fits his skill set. I don't know. I just didn't see the math add up there. And Brock, he's just, the Texans are stuck with him for a little bit now. And if I'm the Texans, I still draft a quarterback.
Obligation.
I would still draft a quarterback from the Texans. Don't they have Tom Savage still or whatever?
Yeah, I think so. They did take they took him in the third round a couple years ago now.
Oh,
but
well.
Last game of the week. Monday nighter. Might be a Monday night stinker. New York Jets at the Arizona Cardinals.
Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Don't be disrespectful, okay? Yeah, don't even ask me who's going to win because you already know who's going to win this game. New York Jets all day, okay? Yeah. I told you we're going to win this game because I want them to lose now because I want them to go 1-15 now. They're going to win. They're going to win. They're just going to because they don't like me. They are going to win. Bookit.com.
Who's going to score the fewest points this week?
Raider has said Carr will be the face of the NFL in a couple years. Absolutely not.
Well, what about Aaron Rodgers?
He will not be the face of the NFL. I love Derek Carr. I think he should be a Jet. He should have been a Jet. That's my boy. I think he's gonna get that Andrew Luck money. But if I had to pick a prediction on a face of the NFL, right now I might go with Cam Newton, right? Reigning MVP, huge smile, went to the Super Bowl. What are you laughing about?
Huge smile?
Yeah, smile means something. Got a little smile there. That helps, man.
I want to make damn sure the next quarterback my team drafts has a great smile. That's all I want.
I said face of the NFL. I didn't have to say draft your quarterback. And another thing is, I was about to say something stupid. I was about to say, what face of the NFL is ugly? But then I was like, well, Peyton Manning is pretty. He's an ugly dude.
He looked like a damn potato head.
He had a huge head. He's not the ugliest, but, he's not. You don't look at Peyton Manning like, man, that's GQ status right there. He's got that dome, like he's got that massive. Like you could play Minecraft on his head, his forehead. You could build worlds on that.
Oh my god, it's true. He does have a big forehead.
Everybody, you would say Andrew Luck, but Andrew Luck has. You need to have a winning team. You can't be the face of the NFL and be on a trash team.
I'm surprised Peyton Manning is still in commercials right now. He's in a lot more commercials.
That's how you do it. Yeah, you're retired, chilling. He's still one of the most marketable guys out there. He's good. Look at Brett Favre. He's still got commercials.
Oh yeah.
So Peyton Manning's not going to be out of the limelight for a long time. Derek Carr looks like an unkept blueberry bush.
What does that mean?
Drew Lee said he got a 5 head, not a 4 head. He stepped at it.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers has a chance. He's in a bunch. He's got that commercial with that State Farm commercial where he tries to hit a fly. And he goes to you got a few candidates out there. But might as well make no, he's not. You can forget about that. Dak Prescott. You might as well make him the face of the NFL. Why not? Since you guys already anointed him the king of Dallas, the all-star Pro Bowler, the all-time leader in wins for Dallas already. You might as well make Dak Prescott the face of the NFL. Why not? Give it to him.
No.
You guys are giving him everything else. Oh, I like that. Carson Wentz. Ooh.
Yeah, no. I don't.
You gotta wait.
So.
You gotta wait a few years. He's got to do a lot to get to that status, but that's a long-term one right there. He dresses like it. Oh, I don't know what that. Who dresses like it? Marvin McNutt. He should be the face of all franchises today. Not even only the NFL, of everything.
Marvin McNutt, man. R.I.P. to his NFL career. Still got to get a jersey, though. Still got to get a jersey at some point. Who knows?
Need an autograph, man. Yo, Marvin.
Autograph and then, framed, like.
Do you have any Marvin McNutt cards?
I do. I probably do somewhere. Hey, let me see.
You got to check if you got some Marvin McNutt cards because those Brock ones is worthless.
Yeah, I actually do because I remember I found one and I put it aside right here. Rookie card for the Eagles. Bam! Marvin McNutt, son.
Oh, you better. Oh, you. I don't know why you don't put. You have a safe.
This card right here is worth $1 million. I'll give it to somebody who wants it. 100 grand right here.
Let me make sure. Do you have a safe? You better put it in a safe.
I got a safe.
You trust your parents around that card?
No, nobody. Not even you.
I know. I wouldn't trust myself.
Man, this card right here is gonna make me a lot of money.
Man, I don't know what shines more, those cards or your hair. It's just so nice.
I don't know. Let's
put
see.
it up against your hair. I don't know. I think your hair still shines more.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up the show. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Drew Lee, USC Niner faithful.
Yo, we got a bid going on for those Marvin McNutt card in the chat.
We got $7. $7. We got 25 cents. $7. Start the bid at 7. Drew Lee's at 7. Anybody? Can I get $8? $8 from Marvin McNutt. I will personally mail this to you and your address. I'll put the money to your as the NFL players would like to say, your favorite charity, and it'll be all yours. Marvin McNutt rookie card for the Philadelphia Eagles.
$725. Oh, $725. Going up.
That's $10.
$10?
$10. Can I get $15 for Marvin McNutt?
I wish I had. I don't have a wallet next to me. Damn.
Dang, man. Marvin McNutt. He got sold for $10.
It's more cash than his career.
When did he even enter the league? 2012, I think it was.
Oh, anyway. That was. Let me just tell the guys. I told David before the show that I'll be taking 3 weeks off. I'll be in a 3-week bye. I'll be going away for California and Thailand starting October 26th. But have no fear, David will have try to have the show up and running those weeks with some replacements. Don't think David fired me. Hopefully he does. Maybe he'll get a replacement, have 3 straight weeks of success, and bench me like I'm Robo. So maybe I should say my goodbyes. But like, you know what? You find your Prescott, and I'll be gone. I'll be done.
No, that's not gonna happen. But I'll see if I can bring somebody in for these next couple of weeks. Maybe I'll take a week off. I don't know. I'll have to let you guys know on Twitter next week. So stay tuned for that. Follow me on Twitter if you haven't already. You guys will get the updates as soon as I put those out there. But again, thanks to everybody who tuned in. There would be no show without you guys. So thank you again. I'm Dave from Wake Up It's Football. That's Ez from Idiot Ezra. And Gerver Dillon, you totally did win this card, but I'm not mailing it because the card's worthless. So EDP 445. Yeah, it would be cool to get EDP, but
yeah, this show's a little.
He wouldn't want to jump on my show.
And two,
even though I've talked to him a couple of times.
He may be a little rated R for you, right?
Yeah, he's a little more up here in the language department, so probably not EDP. But I'll get somebody that you guys will probably.
I love how people call him EDP, but that's not his YouTube name. Those are the acronyms for his YouTube.
No, I think is it or is it not?
No, is it not? You can't say his. We can't say his YouTube name on this show.
I'll see. I'll try. Okay, look. All right. You guys want EDP? I'll reach out to him. He's probably seen a couple of my videos before because I have talked to him once or twice. I'll reach out to him, but I'm not making any promises, all right? I'll tell him, hey, I have a show. Guys were interested in having you on. If he wants on, I'll get him on. I'll just tell him, hey, look, we got a language barrier. That's it. Otherwise, we can talk some football. But, again, no guarantees with him. If not, I'll find somebody else. All right. Cool? Cool. All right. We will catch you guys hopefully next week. Ezra will catch you whenever you come back. Thanks again for everyone in the FanDuel comment box. That's all we got for you guys today. We're out.
Later, guys.